All right, it's 7 o'clock, and first item tonight before we go into session was we have a public hearing because we have resolution and zoning changes. And so I will read the different, there's actually 4 of them that were, public notice was given for the opportunity for the public to speak. So the first one is on October the 22nd, 2024, the Bedford County Regional Planning Commission unanimously recommended a resolution to adopt the 2021 version of the International Fire Code. The Bedford County, Tennessee Rules and Legislative Committee on November the 19th, 2024 voted unanimously to place the resolution for the adoption of the Fire Code on the January 14th, 2025 agenda for the Bedford County Board of Commission, which is tonight. As required by the law, complete copy of the Fire Code was placed with the county clerks for 90 days. Now, the 90 days is not expired on this, so this actually needs to be deferred. But if somebody did actually come tonight to speak on the fire code, I'll give you the opportunity to stand, but it will be back on the agenda for the regarding the fire code. Okay, so we're deferring that one, understanding it'll come back on March the 11th. The next one is November 26, 2024, the Bedford County Regional Planning Commission unanimously recommended a repeal of the previous adopted building codes for residential construction, which was the version 2015 of the International Residence Code, and the International Residential Code, Building Code, and to adopt the 2021 version IRC. On November the 19th, 2024, the Bedford County Rules and Legislative Committee voted unanimously to place the resolution on the January 14th, 2025 agenda for the Bedford County Board of Commission to update this update is required by the State Fire Marshal's Office for the general compliance for local governments to enforce its own building codes. Tennessee Code annotated section 137105 requiring prior to adopting an amendment as authorized under section A, the county legislative body shall hold a public hearing on the amendment with at least 15 days notice. Given by at least one publication in the newspaper of general circulation in the county. Notice was published in the Shelbyville Times-Gazette as required under November 20th, 2024. In addition, one complete copy of the building code as required by law was placed on file in the office of the county clerk of Bedford County for public review. Now, we're ready to talk about that one. Is there anyone in the public who wants to make a public comment? This public hearing to make any statement or question or concern regarding the building codes. This is for the residential building codes to rescind the current version and adopt the 2021 version, which will be an action of the commission to happen tonight. Does there anyone want to speak regarding that one? Okay, hearing none, seeing none, we'll move on to the third one, which on November the 26th, 2024, the Bedford County Regional Planning Commission unanimously recommended a rezoning request from Andy Haynes seeking to have 2531 Highway 64 West, map 85, parcel 24.00, rezoned from A1 agriculture to C1 rural central district. On December the 17th, the Rules and Legislative Committee of Bedford County's Board of Commission moved unanimously to place this rezoning request on the January 14th, 2025 Board of Commission agenda with a favorable recommendation. Is there anyone in the audience who wants to speak regarding this rezoning consideration? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to the last one. On November 26, 2024, the Bedford County Regional Planning Commission unanimously made an unfavorable recommendation on a zoning request by Cesar Diaz and Jimmy, I'm going to spell it Paniagua, seeking to have 2640 Highway 41A North, map 48, parcel 33.01, rezoned from A1 agriculture to C2 general commercial district for a grading business office and parking spaces for construction equipment. On December the 17th, the Rules and Legislative Committee of the Board of Commission moved unanimously to place the rezoning request on the January 14th Bedford County Commission meeting with an unfavorable recommendation. Is there anyone in the audience want to speak regarding to this? All right.
Good evening. I just wanted to clarify the reason why the Regional Planning Commission gave that an unfavorable recommendation, and that is very simple. It's in our zoning resolution, the zoning classification C2 is they're only allowed to make favorable recommendations when the application is within, and this particular piece of property is out at the, at the intersection of Highway 270 and 41A North. So it's well beyond the region that the C2 is allowed, and that's the reason why I got an unfavorable. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Now, is there anyone in the audience I missed that wanted to speak on any of the four? Okay, hearing none, seeing none. So we're going to declare the public hearing closed, and if you'll stand, we'll be led in prayer by John Carney. Amen. If you'll join me in the pledge. The meeting will now officially be opened by the Sheriff Austin Swing.
Hear ye, the Bedford County Board of Commissioners, now in session, the Honorable Mayor Chad Graham presiding.
Thank you. You can be seated. All right, so I think first item would be roll call by the County Clerk, Donna Thomas.
Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Commissioner Boutwell,
Present.
Commissioner Boyette,
Here.
Commissioner Brothers, Commissioner Davis,
Here.
Commissioner Epperson,
Here.
Commissioner Fair,
Here.
Commissioner Hooker,
Here.
Commissioner Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Maddox,
Here.
Commissioner Neely,
Here.
Commissioner Pinson, Commissioner Smith, Commissioner Adam Thomas,
Here.
Commissioner Mark Thomas,
Here.
Commissioner Thompson,
Here.
Commissioner Vick,
Here.
Commissioner Yaki,
Here.
17 present, 1 absent.
All right, so first item is approval of the minutes from the commission meeting minutes from December the 10th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, we've got motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Now we're ready for public comment as part of the regular agenda. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on any of the items that's on the agenda tonight? Okay, hearing none, seeing none, we're moving on. Under elections and confirmations, our notaries for February of 25.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any thoughts, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next item is 2025 Ethics Committee appointments. I'm going to give you all the names, and if you're, for some reason you want to vote any of them individually, we're happy to do that. Commissioner Biff Farah, Commissioner Mark Thomas, Commissioner Tony Smith, Trustee Tanya Davis, and Clerk and Master Kirk Cobb.
Motion to approve.
Okay, any comments or thoughts? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next is Planning Commission. We've got 2 reappointments, Brent Stacy and Tom McLean, and they're both currently serving. Again, if you'd like to vote them individually, we can do that.
Move to approve both.
Second.
Okay, any thoughts? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and then we have one on the BZA, that's the Board of Zoning Appeal, and that's Whitley, and again, he's currently serving. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you guys for that. All right. Nothing under presentations. We're ready to go with resolutions of the International Residential Code. This is the building codes. That was part of the public hearing.
Move to approve.
Okay, we're open for discussion. Okay, hearing none, when your name's called, vote for or against.
Commissioner Yaki,
Yes.
Commissioner Vick,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Mark Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Adam Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Pinson, Commissioner Neely,
Yes.
Commissioner Maddox,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Hooker,
Yes.
Commissioner Fair,
Aye.
Commissioner Epperson,
Yes.
Commissioner Brothers, Commissioner Boyette,
Yes.
Commissioner Boutwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Does anyone wish to change your vote? 17 ayes, 0 noes.
All right, and now we're on to Rules and Legislative Committee. Again, this was discussed in the public hearing. This is the rezoning for the Andy Haynes is seeking to have 2531 Highway 64 West, map 85, parcel 24.00 rezoned from A1 to C1 with a favorable recommendation from both the Rules and Legislative Committee and the Planning Commission.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we're open for discussion. Has anybody got anything they want to ask? Okay, we need names call, vote for or against.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Boutwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyette,
Yes.
Commissioner Brothers, Commissioner Epperson,
Yes.
Commissioner Farrer,
Aye.
Commissioner Hooker,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Maddox,
Yes.
Commissioner Neely,
Yes.
Commissioner Pinson, Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Adam Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Mark Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Vick,
Yes.
Commissioner Yaki.
Yes.
Does anyone wish to change your vote? 17 ayes, 0 noes.
All right, so the next one, again, is rezoning for consideration from Caesar Diaz and Jimmy, again, I'm going to spell it because I don't think I can pronounce it correctly, Paniagua, are seeking to have 2640 Highway 41A North, map 48, parcel 33.01, rezoned from A1 to C2 for a grading business and parking space for construction equipment. Now, this was an unfavorable recommendation from both the Rules and Legislative Committee and the Planning Commission.
Make a motion to deny.
Okay, Commissioner Yaki.
I just want to make sure that that's the proper way, Mr. Lawyer Person, that we say this, or do we need to say that we uphold the recommendation of the Planning Commission?
Yep.
Are you willing to accept that
Yeah.
cleanup of verbiage?
I'm going to amend my motion to accept the recommendation from the Planning Commission. Unfavorable.
Okay. And deny this. Correct. If the second stands, to whoever seconded him, do you agree or agree with the cleanup? Was it? Yeah, okay. So yes, if you vote yes, this would be to deny it. If you vote no, it would be to not deny it. Does everybody understand that? When your name's called, vote for or against.
Commissioner Yaki,
Yes.
Commissioner Vick,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner Mark Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Adam Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Pinson, Commissioner Neely,
Yes.
Commissioner Maddox,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Hooker,
Yes.
Commissioner Farrer,
Aye.
Commissioner Epperson,
Yes.
Commissioner Brothers, Commissioner Boyette,
Yes.
Commissioner Boutwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Does anyone wish to change your vote? 17 ayes, 0 noes.
All right, so next item, nothing to report under law enforcement or courthouse and property. As under financial management, we have surplus property, which is from the Ag Center.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. Any questions or comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now we're ready for other business. We've got the acceptance of the highway road list. It should have been in your packet.
Move to approve.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Next is quarterly reports. I don't believe the clerk and master is here. Circuit, I believe, and driving school submitted a report, should have been on your desk, certainly available for questions if you have them after the meeting. County clerk?
Okay, I won't read you that whole report, but bottom line, so to speak, this is year-to-date July 1st through 31st of 2024. Total transactions, 40,522. Total collected, 3.5 million. Total revenue for Bedford County, $531,257. And in comparison to last year, total transactions up 9% over last year, total collections up 7% over last year, and revenue for Bedford County up 11%.
Sounds like we continue to be busy. Is there any questions for her? All right, thank you for that. Directors of School wasn't able to be here tonight, but her assistant is, and so Tim Harwell, if you want to step up, you just need to push and hold the button while you talk. If you let off, you'll...
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity to share a very good report on our school system in regards to academics. We receive a lot of data throughout the year, and this data that I'm sharing with you tonight is based off of our students' performance from the 23-24 school year. A few years back, the U.S. Department of Education and the Tennessee Department of Education decided that schools would be held accountable, and part of that accountability would be that they would receive and be designated letter grades, grades A through F. Last year was the first year that that was actually initiated, and tonight I would like to share what our grades are for our schools. The grades are determined by performance on the achievement growth in the bottom 25%. The bottom 25%, how that is determined is, are we moving those students up that were in the bottom 25% as far as proficiency from the previous school year? So the federal government and the state wants, obviously, those students to improve in academics. And also in our high school, the school letter grade is determined by college career readiness. And what that means, they're determining how well we are getting our students ready for the next stage after high school. We had 4 schools that scored an A from last school year's results. Those schools were Cascade Elementary, Cascade Middle School, Cascade High School, and Thomas Magnet School. We had 2 schools that scored a B. That was Community Elementary and Community High. We had 5 C schools, which were Aiken, Shelbyville Central, Harris Middle, Community Middle, and Eastside. And we had 3 D schools. They were Learning Way, Liberty, and Southside. Also, every year, the federal government has a designation that is called Reward Schools. Reward schools are based on success rate, that is how well our students are doing in achievement and in growth, and that is determined from the scores that the students take from their TCAP and EOC exams, and it's also based on graduation, chronically absenteeism, and our English language proficient assessment. And that is how well we are doing, how well our ELA students are doing, and as far as learning the English language. These schools, we had 6 reward schools, and I want to note this. This is the highest number of reward schools that we've ever had in Bedford County in any single school year, and we had 6 once again this year. What this means is that they demonstrated high levels of performance and or improvement in performance. Those schools were Cascade Elementary, Cascade Middle, Cascade High School, Aiken, Community Elementary, and Thomas Magnet School. And we definitely want to give a shout out to all those teachers and principals, and most of all, those students are working hard to achieve that status of reward school. And last but not least, in regards to academics and data, and every year, Bedford County schools and all other districts in the state of Tennessee are given designations, and there are 4 designations. The lowest designation is in need of improvement. The next is marginal, then satisfactory, advancing, and exemplary. We're proud to announce that Bedford County schools scored advancing this year. That is the highest designation that we've ever had here in Bedford County, and we're very proud of that. The designations are based on growth and achievement once in the English language proficient assessment results. And once again, we scored advancing, and we're very proud of that. So we're moving the needle in the right way, and we want to commend everyone that was involved in making that happen. A brief report on some of our capital outlay projects. We currently have 4 rooms being added to Thomas Magnet School. That will be completed very soon. They're currently putting down the floors in that building. We're waiting on windows. There's a supply issue there. We're waiting on that right now. But we would hope at this point that we'll have students in those 4 new classrooms by March. I know that's when we're going to have the furniture in. Also, we're having 10 new classrooms added at Liberty. That is at this time, the deadline for that to be completed is in February. And once again, furniture is going to be delivered in March, and hopefully we'll have students and seats in those 10 new classrooms at Liberty. Also, as a result of coming under budget at Cartwright Elementary, we had some money left there, and we directed that money to improving our sports, our lighting at all of our sports fields. So all of our middle schools and all of our high schools will be getting LED lights, and in some cases they'll be getting new poles to hold those lights. Those are upgrades that are long overdue, and we're looking forward to having some brighter lights on our sports field here in the near future. And that's all of our report.
Anybody particularly have a question or comment? Okay, thank you so much. All right, next I have down the election office, and I believe she had some information for you that should be at your desk. And the highway superintendent, if he'll step up there, if he's got anything he wants to add.
Good evening, everyone. Bear with me a little bit. I'm having a little trouble breathing, so if I fall out, Mark, help me out a little bit here. So I'm having a little trouble trying to get air in the system here. It may be this basketball I carry around with me a lot of times, so I apologize. I'll try to go through this as quick as possible. The Highway Department has installed a new sign-making machine where we make all the signs for across the county that you have on all the roads and things. We have already started out. Of course, a lot of our county roads didn't have signs. They've been stolen, tore down, replaced. Out of the 600-something roads, we have already replaced 309 roads to date, and we've still got what we've got projected. It's going to be over 500 and something of the roads, but we're getting the signage back on the roads for that part. This past fall, we've paved 7 roads and 5 railroad crossings across the county. So that's ought to help out some more on our maintenance for our roads. We've had snow this past weekend, so about 3 months ago I put out a list of roads, which took a lot of work to figure out what roads I was trying to put on there, because there's no way possible to do all 600-something roads that we have in the county. So what we've done is I come up with all the collector roads where if you live on side roads, you can get to the main roads that you try to get to your houses with to get to a state road. So we got all those done. It's 21 roads total. And after this run, this time we'll stick with this route, and I'll reevaluate that for next year on that part. Also, we have purchased a traffic counter, which is like the state uses. You know, you see the wires laying on the roads that tracks the average daily traffic counts for all roads. I've got a plan to start putting those in, which will help with our planning for the future of what roads need work, which roads used to have minimal traffic. Now it's got a lot of traffic on it, so it'll help in the passing out of the work that we're going to do over the years coming forward. The first thing that we're going to try, which will be good for myself and good for you to understand, is we're going to start with our convenience centers, because we've been estimating what the traffic counts is going to all 8 centers, which we have a lot of traffic going in. So we're going to try that. It's going to be our test market first to learn the system and how it pulls out. So we'll have some numbers hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months to give you about how much traffic we have going in our centers. I'm also looking at, we've got a lot of development going on in the county. And I know there's been some discussion over the last 4 or 5 years that I've been in office about the county road speed limits. I'll be coming hopefully next month to Rules and Legislative to get you to look at setting up a speed limit set up for different type of roads. It's a pretty simple process is what I've come up with, but we get calls almost daily from the public saying we need a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit sign or 30 mile an hour. Well, years ago, pardon me, I'm losing my breath again. In the past, it's probably been probably 35, 40 years ago, I think, maybe, from what I understand from our attorney, the commission passed a rule that all speed limits of all county roads, that means dead ends, all county roads are 45 miles an hour. Well, 45 works good on collector roads, but it doesn't work good on a dead-end street. So I've come up with a plan that I'll be presenting to Rules and Legislative to bring back to y'all hopefully in March to maybe look at trying to get this set up because of the development we got going on. We're getting a lot of traffic on these roads and a lot of development. So hopefully that'll help us in the future. On solid waste, we have got our glass recycling bin set up at El Bethel. We know we lost a lot of the recycling for cardboard and plastic and all after COVID hit in 20. So right now, we have every recycling bin and recycling, I guess, items, we can collect at the centers now. So that's going to be, and it's going over very well. The glass has been in use probably about 3 weeks, and it's already got a lot of traffic to it so far, so I think it's going to eventually move forward with that. It's going to turn out to be a good recycling bin. Pardon me. Speaking signs at the centers to help, and that seemed like that has helped with a lot of the rules and regulations with our centers at there, so that's turned out to be a pretty good deal we've done. The grant we received for the $124,000, we got notification today. They have got behind on their grant process, so it's probably going to be about a couple of extra longer months before we can utilize and get those grants and those bins and the new recycling apparatus in. So it may be a couple. It's probably going to be closer to May or June probably before that can come in once we get that there. Whew, pardon me. Bill, don't give me mouth to mouth, please. So now the water won't work. I don't know, but for some reason I just can't breathe tonight. We remember ISWA. We've talked about this at finance over the last 2 or 3 months. ISWA has approved a new contract for our solid waste disposal. Our rates that we're paying now, $7 per ton. That is a low rate. It started out at $25. But that contract was from 10 years ago. So that was pretty much, Anita, you remember that. That rate was a low rate back then. So with inflation and things like that, what we thought our rates was going to come in at was going to be somewhere in that $65 to $75 range per ton, which is basically going to be a double. The rates that we have approved and ISWA has awarded the contract is $58.86 a ton. So we'll have to be in some talks about when it gets to budget time, because that is going to bump up our disposal cost a little bit on that part. And our tonnage is still steadily creeping up. So eventually we're going to have to keep putting money towards solid waste to try to keep this moving. So.
All right, do you have questions for Mark? Commissioner Pensa.
Yeah, well, thank you. I took a lot of heat when we looked at that, and I wanted to switch that over, and the mayor graciously gave me the okay. He said, if you get shot, you take the first shot instead of me. So when we done that, but it has worked out. It took care of the traffic burden that keeps coming out on 41. I'm looking at possibly doing 1 or 2 more that we have some traffic issues with, so maybe switching the entrances and exits a little bit to help with traffic flow. So that could be coming up in the near future also. But thank you for saying it. It means a lot.
Commissioner Thomas, Mark Thomas.
I just want to say thank you for the road list. I may be the only one in the county that uses it, but we have to load it into our software that we use for reporting fires, and we take it road by road and check it off, because everybody knows that GPS is always right, yeah? And I'd like, since this is a public meeting and it goes out over the airways, is people don't realize when they steal a street sign, how it hampers everybody else. If you need ambulance, fire truck, sheriff's department, whatever, I mean, that slows us down. And you think, well, you ought to know the roads. Well, yeah, you should, but I mean, they're growing every day, and it's hard to keep all this in your mind. And the older you get, the harder it is to remember all this stuff, you know? So, you know, these people, and if somebody's out there and they got one in their garage, I'm sure Mark would like to have it back.
Commissioner Epperson? And then
I did want to say, I think that's great that y'all did the road signs. I did have somebody already comment on it at the shop and said, you know, they thought it was save a lot of money, and, you know, I know they get stolen all the time, so I think that's great that you guys did that. And I thought the roads were good this time. They were cleared quickly, and I didn't hear any complaints, so.
Me either this time. It was quiet on my end, so I enjoyed that. So
Mine too.
Commissioner Yaki?
I have three things, Mark. One is I love the glass bin at El Bethel, and I did go in the right entrance this time, and the guy didn't yell at me. But it's awful high for us short people. If you find any steps, it'd be nice to have. I mean, it was fun tossing them over, but the second thing is, does your signage maker do the speed limit signs also to
Yes,
save us money when we get to
yes,
that?
yes, it does. The cost breakdown that I've looked at versus where if we was having to buy all these signs versus what we made them, we're paying probably around 30% of what we normally would have done. So the sign room apparatus that we had to buy wasn't very a lot expensive. I mean, it was expensive, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be when we started. But we have already recouped probably half the cost of what the highway department done already, just in 2 months so far.
And last thing is, the road clearing that you sent out was great, and I like the fact, and maybe you did this, maybe you didn't, but it was so the fire truck could get over Hilltop to Ross to make a call, and I think that's important to look at between the two of you all, that these fire trucks can get to where they need to go to.
Okay. Commissioner Maddox?
You know, I'm very appreciative that the weather turned out a little bit better than we thought it was going to, and the roads weren't as bad as they were the last season. I just wanted to say thank you as well for that list. I know you and I have had some great conversations in the past, and you and I both agree that communication is key to keeping the public informed, and I just wanted to commend you and the county for the list that was placed on the website, and I think that informing the folks ahead of time of the roads that are going to be cleared really helps them plan ahead, and I just wanted to say thank you again for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Commissioner Farrell?
I just have a general question. I know on our rural roads that, particularly, it's been probably over a year, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, that these ash trees have been down. I know that y'all have had to send crews out with chainsaws to clear areas. There's still two big ash trees that are hanging on telephone lines going out 82. I mean, they're as big around as we are. And I don't know if they're going to disrupt telephone service or what, but they need to be cleared up. And I know that's not your job. That's a state road. It's Highway 82 there in Hymesville, but it looks dangerous. I think if they break on off, they could come in and cause a wreck, and it also could disrupt communications going out to Flat Creek and Hilltop or wherever. But I don't know where that needs to go, County Mayor, but that needs to be addressed. But I do want to comment, they've done a great job up and down Hilltop Road and other roads getting those ash trees out, because I see them fall down all the time, limbs and the full trees. But thank you keeping that road clear, for sure.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, tree damage, as Commissioner Thomas can tell you, because they've done a lot of that over the years herself. It is a everyday job. We normally average about 5 to 6 tree calls a day, almost at this time of year, because they do fall. And on 82, I have been in contact with TDOT about that, because I've seen all that myself. They're planning on waiting till they get some more crews and some special equipment where they can get up there to get it without tearing the lines down. So I'll touch base back with them again tomorrow and sort of see what their status is on that part.
Okay, thank you for that. Anybody else that we missed? We can just roll it right into this. I was going to say it in announcements, but kudos to our public safety people and the highway that worked together. Of course, we did some pre-planning. These guys have programs and plans and modeling before we get into an event. And weather helped us a little bit that we didn't get that second round or that second punch, that's for sure. But no doubt that planning and having these well-trained professionals that are looking at this daily, leading up to it and even after it, for after events, just like we're talking about, is critical. So thank all of those folks that made sure that happens. Next is property assessor was not able to be here tonight. Then register of deeds, I saw him here. All right, I thought he might be napping.
Almost. 10 more minutes, I'd been out. Hope you've had a chance to ride around our beautiful county. You'll see all the houses going up everywhere. What used to be farmland or houses, and they're building them just as fast as they can. I'd also like to thank you, commissioners, for the jobs that you do to keep us safe and keep our county moving forward. Thank you so much for that. If you look at the report, we had 326 deeds this last quarter. 125 quick claims, 45 green belts, 63 notices of completions, 48 plats, which we're recording plats more and more. 3 trustees' deeds. I always hate seeing those where somebody's lost their house. 2,919 documents was recorded. $615,000 went through our office this last quarter. Any questions?
Any questions for the register? Thank you for all you do. I know we're keeping you busy. All right. Tanya, it's showtime. Trustee, by the way.
Okay. I'm not going to go into great detail because we are in the midst of a busy tax season. Of course, we're busy year-round, but right now we are watching these numbers come in and watching those the number online comparison of last year, and you're going to see that in your report. We're up about $1.5 million, a little over $5 million in the property tax. That's in current, and then actually up in the prior. So police it all year round to see and watch those numbers. And the clerk and master for his delinquent will be turned over March the 26th for anyone that, of course, taxes are due by February the 28th, the 24th. But budget and interest, sales tax. So those are the 3 numbers that we watch closely. And like I said, this year, 2024 was a rebidding year for the trustee's office with banking. So we do have a new bank. At this time, it is a process. So we will probably be out at least a year banking, reconciling with 2 separate banks, along with some of our departments that even take longer. It is a process. But the good news is in this change, we were able with different options to be able to get a better interest earning. So that is, let me see, I actually had that right here in front of me. Instead of doing the public funds interest-bearing account, which would have dropped us on the target rate minus 20 points, basic points, we went with another option, which is it's called insured cash sweep, where funds are swept into an IntraFi network. So that is going to gain us, well, actually, it's going to be a zero balance with a floor of 0.50%, which is going to give us a 5%. I know I just went through that really fast, but it's a better interest rate, saying that that's going to be a big impact on the future, looking at the budget and the numbers. And I'll definitely, as we continue into this process, we are sweeping money now. And when we report on the next, going to give you true numbers really on our tax season and also what is happening with this new interest-bearing account. It's new for us. There's a lot of different moving parts to it because it sweeps daily, constantly. So we are starting with a zero statement balance. So right now we're walking backwards to reconcile. But I can tell you the support and the team effort with Robert and Lori, the finance department, has been amazing because it truly is a team effort to make this change. But it is in the better of the county and the budget. So, sales tax, and I'm not going to go into these because, like I said, you know, this last report will give you a great detail and comparison. Everything that I mentioned is up in the collection from our property taxes, prior and current, to our interest bearing with our bank, with the sales tax. And I want to thank you again for your commitment to the people and with the tax relief. To reminder, 36,370 is the income cap. We are averaging about, pretty well we can follow the numbers, and it's averaging about what we predicted. So we're in very good standing. Do you have any questions?
All right, thank you. Thank you for that. All right, we're near the end here. Announcements. I wanted to, if you weren't able to be there, or maybe it didn't get rang out to you, but Tony Barrett, we had retirement celebration for him today. He had 46 years, if I got it right, in public safety across the system, and of course was a county commissioner here, I think, for 12 years. So, wow. That's, I don't even remember him not being around all the way back to the 80s whenever I started messing around in the government. He was down at the sheriff's office even back then. So congratulations to him. We wish him well. Don't forget your conflict of interest statement is going to be coming up due. We have to do every year. Our office will be happy to try to help you with it if you're having any trouble. I think they require it online now, and so some people's computers will not like it, and if we can help you, we'd be happy to do that. MLK Day is January the 20th, and that is one of the recognized holidays the state recognizes. So that'll be on Monday, January the 20th. And just for your information, the 114th General Assembly started today. So they're back in session at the state, and that's going to mean something to us going forward, too. So is there any other announcements? Wow. Are we ready to adjourn?